an interview with Mr. Gaddy about mass incarceration and the detrimental effects that it has on African American communities. And the first question I have is, what are some specific detrimental effects that you have seen as a result of mass incarceration on African American communities?
The primary that I would like to point to for the purpose of this interview is the adverse effects that mass incarceration in the prison system has on separation of families, dealing with, in particular, fathers being separated from their wives and their children. And the reason I place a particular focus on that is because I've seen firsthand the effects of what it is for a child to grow up without having a stable father figure inside the home, and the coaching, the nurturing, the rearing, the decision-making process that goes into what it means to be a healthy, functioning contributor, male figure, a male inside of today's society, and the systemic issues that then go along with that.
Now, what do you think are some things that come from, you said, taking a father away from a child or just any parental figure in general? When it comes to on a community basis, what are some effects that trickle down from that? What happens to children that causes the community as a whole to suffer?
Oh, goodness. That's a big one. That's a very big question. What are the primary areas where we see that breakdown take place? Well, you have the shift in responsibility to other community members having to pick up that slack, right? So where do kids go when they don't have parental father figures inside the home? We look for surrogates everywhere, right? And whether it be on a sports fields, whether it be on a court, whether it be on the streets, kids are looking for guidance. They're looking for someone who's going to support them in their endeavors. And all too often, not to say all the time, but all too often, our youth get caught up in what is presented immediately in front of them. So depending on the nature of the environment in which that child is in, what is going to afford them fast money, what's going to afford them the tangibles that are made to look so enticing on a day-to-day basis. And a lot of my friends have gotten caught up in that. They've gotten caught up in street culture and gang life. Not to say all of them, but a disproportionate number, and I've had a number of my friends whose fathers have been incarcerated and followed suit.
And now I'm just going to ask you, does mass incarceration